Hello friends, I'm Jagdish Park Associate. Today's topic is engineering thermodynamics. So in engineering thermodynamics, I'll be explaining a numerical problem from the chapter Second Law of Thermodynamics. So before going to this video, please press the subscribe button of our channel, The Mechanical Engineers Theme, and also click the bell icon so that you will get the notifications for new videos. Okay, so let's begin. First I will read the question. A Carnot engine operates between temperature limits of 1200 Kelvin and 400 Kelvin, using zero point 0.4 kg of air and running at 500 rpm. The pressure at the beginning of heat addition is 1500 kilopascal and at the end of heat addition is 750 kilopascal. Determine A. The heat added per cycle. B. The heat rejected per cycle. C. The power. D. The volume at the end of heat addition. E. The mean effective pressure. F. The thermal efficiency. Okay. Now I will analyze the question. A Carnot engine is running. The working fluid of the Carnot engine is air. The mass of the air is 0.4 kg. The running speed of the Carnot engine is 500 rpm. The Carnot engine is being operated between the source and sink. The temperature of the source is 1200 Kelvin. The temperature of the sink is 400 Kelvin. The pressure of the air at the beginning of heat addition is 1500 kilopascal. The pressure of the air at the end of heat addition is 750 kilopascal. Okay. The working procedure of this Carnot engine is a 0.4 kg of air will be supplied to the source. The pressure of the air entering into the source will be 1500 kilopascal and the volume of the air entering into the source will be V1. Now the air will be heated at constant temperature of 1200 Kelvin. After heating, the pressure of hot air coming out of the source will be 750 kilopascal and the volume of hot air coming out of the source will be V2. Okay, the hot air coming out of the source will be supplied to the Carnot engine. The Carnot engine will utilize this hot air for producing work output. That is, some certain amount of heat from the hot air will be utilized for producing work output and certain amount of heat from the hot air will be rejected to the sink. So this is the working procedure of this Carnot engine. Okay. So in this question, we have to find the values of heat added per cycle. That is, heat added to the air in the source. Second, heat rejected per cycle. That is, amount of heat rejected by the hot air to the sink. Third, the power of the Carnot engine. Fourth, volume of the air at the end of heat addition. That is V2. Fifth, the mean effective pressure of the Carnot engine. Sixth, the thermal efficiency of the Carnot engine. Okay. Now I will list out the given conditions. The pressure of the air at the beginning of heat addition is 1500 kilopascal, which is taken as P1. The pressure of the air at the end of heat addition is 750 kilopascal, which is taken as P2. The mass of the air is 0.4 kg, which is taken as M. The temperature of the source is 1200 Kelvin, which is taken as Ta. The temperature of the sink is 400 Kelvin, which is taken as Tr. The running speed of the Carnot engine is 500 rpm, which is taken as N. The universal gas constant is 0.287 kJ per kg Kelvin, which is taken as R. The adiabatic constant is 1.4, which is taken as gamma. By using these 8 conditions, we are going to find the values of heat added per cycle, heat rejected per cycle, the power, the volume of air at the end of heat addition, the mean effective pressure, and the thermal efficiency. Okay. Now I will move to the solving technique. First we will find the value of volume of air at the beginning of heat addition, which is taken as V1. First of all, why we have to find the value of V1? By finding the value of V1, we will be able to find the values of heat added per cycle and mean effective pressure. Okay. For finding the value of V1, we will use the formula of ideal gas law, and the formula is P1 V1 is equal to mR TA, and consider this one as equation 1. In this formula, we know the values of P1, M, R and TA. So just substitute the values. We get 1500 kilopascal into V1 is equal to 0.4 kg into 0.287 kilojoule per kg Kelvin into 1200 Kelvin. In this LHS, kilopascal is 10 power 3 Newton per meter square. So the next step will be 1500 into 10 power 3 Newton per meter square into V1 is equal to 0.4 kg into 0.287 kilojoule per kg Kelvin into 1200 Kelvin. In this RHS, split the numerical terms and SI units. We get 1500 into 10 power 3 Newton per meter square into V1 is equal to 0.4 into 0.287 into 1200 into kg into kilojoule per kg Kelvin into Kelvin. In this RHS, 0.4 into 0.287 into 1200 is 137.76 and kg into kilojoule per kg Kelvin into Kelvin is kilojoule, because kg and kg gets cancelled and Kelvin gets cancelled, and the remaining term will be kilojoule. So the next step will be 1500 into 10 power 3 Newton per meter square into V1 is equal to 137.76 kilojoule. In this RHS, kilojoule is 10 power 3 Newton meter. So the next step will be 1500 into 10 power 3 Newton per meter square into V1 is equal to 137.76 into 10 power 3 Newton meter. Now bring this 1500 into 10 power 3 Newton per meter square to the denominator of RHS. We get V1 is equal to 137.76 into 10 power 3 Newton meter divided by 1500 into 10 power 3 Newton per meter square. In this RHS, split the numerical terms and S units. We get V1 is equal to 137.76 into 10 power 3 divided by 1500 into 10 power 3 into Newton meter whole divided by Newton per meter square. In this RHS, Newton meter whole divided by Newton per meter square is Newton into meter square divided by Newton, because A whole divided by B by C is A into C divided by B. Okay, so the next step will be V1 is equal to 137.76 into 10 power 3 divided by 1500 into 10 power 3 into Newton into meter square divided by Newton. In this RHS, 137.76 into 10 power 3 divided by 1500 into 10 power 3 is 0.09184, and Newton into meter square divided by Newton is meter cube, because Newton gets cancelled and meter into meter square is meter cube. So the next step will be V1 is equal to 0.09184 meter cube, which means volume of air at the beginning of heat addition is 0.09184 meter cube. Okay, and consider this one as equation 2. Next we will find the value of volume of air at the end of heat addition, which is taken as V2. For finding the value of V2, we will use the formula of ideal gas law, and the formula is P2V2 is equal to mRTA, and consider this one as equation 3. The RHS of equation 3 and the RHS of equation 1 are same. So we can equate equation 1 and equation 3. So by equating equation 1 and equation 3, we get P1V1 is equal to P2V2. And consider this one as equation 4. In equation 4, we know the values of P1, P2 and V1 from equation 2. So just substitute the values. We get 1500 kilopascal into 0.09184 meter cube is equal to 750 kilopascal into V2. Now bring this 750 kilopascal to the denominator of LHS. We get 1500 kilopascal into 0.09184 meter cube divided by 750 kilopascal is equal to V2. In this LHS, split the numerical terms and S units. We get 1500 into 0.09184 divided by 750 into kilopascal into meter cube divided by kilopascal is equal to V2. In this LHS, 1500 into 0.09184 divided by 750 is 0.184, and kilopascal into meter cube divided by kilopascal is meter cube because kilopascal get cancelled. So the next step will be V2 is equal to 0.184 meter cube, which means volume of air at the end of heat addition is 0.184 meter cube. And consider this one as equation 5. Next we will find the value of heat added per cycle, which is taken as Q1. The air in the source is being heated during isothermal process. So for finding the value of Q1, we will use the formula of heat added during isothermal process. And the formula is Q1 is equal to P1 V1 log V2 by V1. And consider this one as equation 6. In equation 6, we know the values of P1, V1 from equation 2 and V2 from equation 5. So just substitute the values. We get Q1 is equal to 1500 kilopascal into 0.09184 meter cube into log 0.184 meter cube divided by 0.09184 meter cube. In this RHS, kilopascal is 10 power 3 Newton per meter square and log 0.184 meter cube divided by 0.09184 meter cube is 0.69. So the next step will be Q1 is equal to 1500 into 10 power 3 Newton per meter square into 0.09184 meter cube into 0.69. In this RHS, split the numerical terms and SI units. We get Q1 is equal to 1500 into 10 power 3 into 0.09184 into 0.69 into Newton per meter square into meter cube. In this RHS, 1500 into 10 power 3 into 0.09184 into 0.69 is 95.05 into 10 power 3. And Newton per meter square into meter cube is Newton meter because meter cube divided by meter square is meter. So the next step will be Q1 is equal to 95.05 into 10 power 3 Newton meter. In this RHS, 10 power 3 Newton meter is kilojoule. So the next step will be Q1 is equal to 95.05 kilojoule. And consider this one as equation 7. So equation 7 is nothing but heat added per cycle is 95.05 kilojoule. Next we will find the value of thermal efficiency, which is taken as neta. The universal formula for thermal efficiency of Carnot engine is neta is equal to 1 minus T2 by T1. So in this formula we know the values of T2 and T1. That is T2 is nothing but TR and T1 is nothing but TA. So just substitute the values. We get neta is equal to 1 minus 400 Kelvin divided by 1200 Kelvin. So in this RHS, 400 Kelvin divided by 1200 Kelvin is 0.33. So the next step will be neta is equal to 1 minus 0.33. So here 1 minus 0.33 is 0.67. So the next step will be neta is equal to 0.67. That is the thermal efficiency of Carnot engine is 0.67. Or the thermal efficiency of Carnot engine in percentage is 67%. And consider this equation as equation 8. Next we will find the value of heat rejected per cycle, which is taken as Q2. For finding the value of Q2, we will use the formula of T2 by T1 is equal to Q2 by Q1. In this formula, bring this Q1 to the LHS. We get Q1 into T2 by T1 is equal to Q2. And consider this one as equation 9. In equation 9, we know the values of T2 and T1. That is, T2 is nothing but TR and T1 is nothing but TA. And we know the value of Q1 from equation 7. So just substitute the values. We get 95.05 kilojoule into 400 Kelvin divided by 1200 Kelvin is equal to Q2. In this LHS, 400 Kelvin divided by 1200 Kelvin is 0.33. So the next step will be 95.05 kilojoule into 0.33 is equal to Q2. So here 95.05 kilojoule into 0.33 is 31.68 kilojoule. So the next step will be Q2 is equal to 31.68 kilojoule, which means the heat rejected per cycle is 31.68 kilojoule, which is taken as equation 10. Next, we will find the value of work done by the Carnot engine, which is taken as W. The universal formula for work done by Carnot engine is W is equal to Q1 minus Q2, and consider this one as equation 11. In equation 11, we know the values of Q1 from equation 7 and Q2 from equation 10. So just substitute the values. We get W is equal to 95.05 kilojoule minus 31.68 kilojoule. So here 95.05 kilojoule minus 31.68 kilojoule is 63.37 kilojoule. So the next step will be W is equal to 63.37 kilojoule, which means the work done by the Carnot engine is 63.37 kilojoule, and consider this one as equation 12. Next, we will find the value of power, which is taken as P. The formula for power of Carnot engine is power is equal to work done into speed of the Carnot engine. That is, P is equal to W into N. Consider this one as equation 13. In equation 13, we know the values of W from equation 12 and N. So just substitute the values. We get P is equal to 63.37 kilojoule into 500 RPM. In this RHS, RPM is 1 divided by minute. So the next step will be P is equal to 63.37 kilojoule into 500 into 1 divided by minute. In this RHS, 1 minute is 60 seconds. So the next step will be P is equal to 63.37 kilojoule into 500 into 1 divided by 60 seconds. In this RHS, split the numerical terms and S units. We get P is equal to 63.37 into 500 divided by 60 into kilojoule into 1 divided by second. So in this RHS, 63.37 into 500 divided by 60 is 528.08, and kilojoule into 1 divided by second is kilojoule per second. So the next step will be P is equal to 528.08 kilojoule per second. So in this RHS, kilojoule per second is kilowatt. So the next step will be P is equal to 528.08 kilowatt, which means the power of the Carnot engine is 528.08 kilowatt, and consider this one as equation 14. Next, we will find the value of mean effective pressure, which is taken as PM. The universal formula for mean effective pressure is PM is equal to work done by stroke volume. In Carnot engine, stroke volume is V3 minus V1, where V3 is volume of air before heat rejection. Okay, so the next step will be PM is equal to W divided by V3 minus V1, and consider this one as equation 15. In equation 15, we know the values of W from equation 12 and V1 from equation 2, but V3 value is unknown. So first we will find the value of V3 and then substitute the value of V3 in equation 15. Okay. For finding the value of V3, we will use the formula of adiabatic process. Why we have to use the formula of adiabatic process? Why? Because the process carried out inside the Carnot engine is adiabatic process. To be precise, the 95.05 kilojoule of heat entering into the Carnot engine will not be increased or decreased by surrounding atmosphere. To be more precise, there will be no heat transfer between the Carnot engine and surrounding atmosphere. The 95.05 kilojoule of heat will be utilized for producing work output, and certain amount of heat, after producing work output, certain amount of heat will be rejected to the sink. Okay. The formula for adiabatic process is Ta by Tr is equal to V3 by V2 whole to the power of gamma minus 1. and consider this one as equation 16. In equation 16, we know the values of TA, TR, V2 from equation 5 and gamma. So just substitute the values, we get 1200 Kelvin divided by 400 Kelvin is equal to V3 divided by 0.184 meter cube whole to the power of 1.4 minus 1. In this LHS, 1200 Kelvin divided by 400 Kelvin is 3. And in this RHS, 1.4 minus 1 is 0.4. So the next step will be 3 is equal to V3 divided by 0.184 meter cube whole to the power of 0.4. Now bring this 0.4 to the LHS. We get 3 to the power of 1 divided by 0.4 is equal to V3 divided by 0.184 meter cube. In this LHS, 3 to the power of 1 divided by 0.4 is 15.58. So the next step will be 15.58 is equal to V3 divided by 0.184 meter cube. Now bring this 0.184 meter cube to the LHS. We get 15.58 into 0.184 meter cube is equal to V3. In this LHS, 15.58 into 0.184 meter cube is 2.86328 meter cube. So the next step will be V3 is equal to 2.86328 meter cube, and consider this one as equation 17. Now substitute this V3 value in equation 15. We get Pm is equal to 63.37 kilojoule divided by 2.86328 meter cube minus 0.09184 meter cube. In this RHS, 2.86328 meter cube minus 0.09184 meter cube is 2.77144 meter cube. So the next step will be Pm is equal to 63.37 kilojoule divided by 2.77144 meter cube. So here 63.37 kilojoule divided by 2.77144 meter cube is 22.86 kilojoule per meter cube. So the next step will be Pm is equal to 22.86 kilojoule per meter cube. So in this RHS, kilojoule is kilonewton meter. So the next step will be Pm is equal to 22.86 kilonewton meter divided by meter cube. So here kilonewton meter by meter cube is kilonewton per meter square, because meter divided by meter square, meter cube is 1 divided by meter square. So the next step will be Pm is equal to 22.86 kilonewton per meter square. So here kilonewton per meter square is kilopascal. So the next step will be Pm is equal to 22.86 kilopascal, which means the mean effective pressure of Carnot engine is 22.86 kilopascal, and consider this one as equation 18. Now we have founded all the values. Next we will list out the solution. Okay, so first, from equation 7, the heat added per cycle is Q1 is equal to 95.05 kilojoule. Second, from equation 10, the heat rejected per cycle is Q2 is equal to 31.68 kilojoule. Third, from equation 14, the power of the heat engine is 528.08 kilowatt. Fourth, from equation 5, the volume of air at the end of heat addition is 0.184 meter cube. Fifth, from equation 18, the mean effective pressure of the Carnot engine is 22.86 kilopascal. Sixth, from equation 8, the thermal efficiency of the Carnot engine is neta is equal to 67%. Okay, so these are the solutions for this question. I hope you all would have understood. If any doubts are there, please do comment in comment box, and remember to like, share and comment on our videos. Thank you friends.